535 Opposition develops. Chapter 4. But when Sanballat heard that we were building the wall, he was grieved and very angry, and he mocked the Jews too, and he spoke before his brethren and the army of the Samaritans, and said, What are these Jews doing? They are boasting. Let them sacrifice on the day when they raise up these stones out of the heaps of rubbish which are burnt. 3. Now Tobiah the Ammonite was standing by him, and he said, No matter how much they build, I know, if a fox climbs it, he shall break down this stone wall. Hear, O our God, for we have become ridiculed and turned the reproach upon their own head, and give them for a prey into the land of their captivity. 5. And forgive not their offences, and let not their sins be blotted out from before thee, for they are enraged and have opposed the building which we are doing. 6. But as for us, we shall continue to build the wall, and the people are building it, and all the wall is completed to the half thereof, for the people have a mind to work. 7. But when Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabians and the Ammonites and the Ashdodites heard that a time was set to complete the walls of Jerusalem, and the breaches began to be closed, then they were exceedingly grieved. 8. And they all conspired together to come to fight against Jerusalem and to hinder the people from the work. 9. Nevertheless, we made our prayer to our God that he may set watchmen over us day and night because of them. 10. And the Jews said, The strength of the bearers of burdens is diminishing, and there is much rubbish, so that we are not able to build the wall. 11. And our adversaries said, They shall not know, neither see, till we come and attack them and slay them and cause their work to cease. 12. And when the Jews who dwelt with them came, they said to us, Behold, now 10 times from all places where they dwell they will come and fight against you. 13. And they have already come and are standing behind the wall to fight against you with their arrows. So I divided the forces after their families. Oh, with their swords and their spears and their bows. (536) The builders are armed. 14. And I was afraid and arose and said to the nobles and to the rulers and to the rest of the people, Be not afraid of them. Remember the Lord who is great and revered, and fight for your brethren, your sons and your daughters, your wives and your houses. 15. And it came to pass, when our enemies heard that the matter was known to us, and that the Lord had brought their counsel to naught, we all returned and went up to the wall, every one to his work. 16. And from that day forth, half of my servants and half of the people were engaged in the work, and the other half of them held the spears, the shields, and the bows, and the coats of mail. And the ministers, or temple ministers of the tribe of Levi, stood behind the Jews who were building the wall. 17. And those who bore burdens with those who were laden, everyone with one of his hands wrought in the work, and the other hand held a weapon. 18. And the builders, every one, had his sword girded by his side, and he stood up and built, and he that sounded the trumpet stood behind him. 19. And I said to the nobles and to the rulers and to the rest of the people, the work is great and extensive, and we are separated upon the wall and at a distance from each other. 20. In what place therefore you hear the sound of the trumpet, come to us there, our God will fight for us. 21. And as for us, let us continue in our work, and half of us let them hold the spears from the rising of the sun till the stars appear. 22. Also at that time I said to the people, let every one with his servant lodge in the midst of the streets of Jerusalem, and let them guard it in the night and in the day, so that the builders may do the work. So neither I, nor my brethren, nor my servants, nor the men of the guard followed me. None of us took off his clothes for many full months, and each one did his duty. 5:36, the builders are armed. Alright, we said that. Chapter 5. Then there was a great cry of the people and of their wives against their brethren the Jews. For there were those who said, our sons and our daughters and our brothers are many, therefore let us purchase grain that we may eat and live. 3. There were also those who said, we are going to sell our fields, our houses, our vineyards, that we may purchase grain during the famine, that we may live. 4. There were those who said, let us borrow money from the king's tribute and work our fields and our vineyards that we may live. 5. And there were also those who said, now our flesh is as the flesh of our brethren, and our children are as their children. And lo, we are compelling our sons and our daughters to be servants, and some of our daughters are already compelled to become maidservants. And yet they do not raise their hands in protest before God, and our fields, our vineyards, and our goods are given for other men. 6. And I was exceedingly sorrowful when I heard their cry and their words, and my heart was broken within me. 7. But I was patient, and I consulted with the elders and with the rulers, and said to them, 8. We are redeeming our brethren the Jews, who were sold to the nations, both they and their children. And will you even take a man in pledge for his brother? Therefore I shouted at them and said to them, will you also sell your brethren? Then they were silent and did not answer me. 9. Also I said to them, the thing that you are doing is not good. For now, you are not walking in the reverence of our God, because you are behaving like the nations which are round about us. 5:37. Oh my God, remember me. And I likewise, and my sons and my brothers will take money and will buy grain, and I will remit the debts of the poor who are among us. 11. Restore to them even this day their fields, their vineyards, their olive orchards, their houses. Also pardon the debts of money and of grain, wine, and oil to the rest of the people. 12. Then they said to me, we will do as you say. Then I called the priests and said to them, this is the thing to do. And I took an oath of them to do according to this promise. I did this also to the children of the common people. 13. And we said, so may God shake out every man from his house and from his labor who does not perform this promise. Even thus shall he be shaken out and emptied. And all the people said, Amen. Then all the people rose up and praised the Lord, and all the people did according to this promise. 14. Moreover, from the time that I was appointed to be governor in the land of Judah, from the 20th year even to the 32nd year of Artaxerxes the king, that is 12 years, I and my brothers were leaders over them, but I never took by force even a donkey of one of them, nor did I bother any one of them. 15. But the former governors who had been before me had enslaved the people and taken from them wine and bread, besides 40 shekels of silver. Also their servants bore rule over the people, and they were subject to them, and were tormented by them. But I did not do so because of the fear of God. 16. Also I was greatly occupied with the work of this wall, and I bought no fields, and all the Jewish servants were gathered there, supervising the work. 17. Moreover, there were at my table 150 nobles and rulers, besides those who came to us from among the nations that were round about us. Now the man who prepared food brought to the servants who did the cooking daily 1 ox and 6 fat sheep. Also yearling goats were prepared for us, and once in 10 days wine in abundance. Yet for all this I did not ask for the provisions which were due the governorship, because the work was heavy upon this people. 19. Oh my God, remember me for good, because of all that I have done for this people. Chapter 6. Then when Sanballat and Tobiah and Geshem the Arabian and the rest of our enemies heard the news that I had built the wall, and that there was no breach left in it, although at that time we had not set up the doors upon the gates, to Sanballat and Geshem sent to me, saying, Come, let us go together to encamp as a troop in the plain of Ono. But they thought to do me harm. 3. And I sent a messenger to them, saying, I am doing a great work, so that I cannot come down, lest the work cease, while I leave it and come down to you. 4. But they sent to me 4 times in this manner. I answered them after the same manner. 5. Then Sanballat sent his servant to me in a like manner the 5th time, with a letter in his hand. 6. Wherein it was written, It is reported among the nations that Geshem says it, that you and the Jews think to rebel. That is why you are building the wall, that you may be king according to these words. 7. And you have also appointed prophets to prophesy concerning you in Jerusalem, saying, Behold, there is a king in Judah. And now it shall be reported to the king according to these words. Come now, therefore, and let us take counsel together. 8. Then I sent to him, saying, There is no truth in such words as these which you say. You are saying them out of your own heart. 9. For they all made us afraid, saying, Their hands shall be weakened. a hand shall be weakened from the work. And they say to us, do not do the work. Now therefore, God, strengthen my hands. 5:38, the wall is finished. Then I went into the house of Shemaiah, the son of Delaiah, the son of Mahetabiel, who used to hinder me from work. And he said to me, let us meet together in the house of God, within the temple, and let us shut the doors of the temple, for they are coming to slay you. Yea, in the night they are coming to slay you. 11, I said, should I flee to men like you? God forbid that I should flee and enter the temple, into the temple. 12, and lo, I perceived that God had not sent him against me, neither has it been said to me by a prophet that he will slay me. For Tobiah and Sanballat and their companions had hired him and sent him to kill me. 13, therefore he was hired, that I should be afraid, and do so in sin, so that I might become to them an evil report, that they might reproach me. 14, remember, O my God, Tobiah and Sanballat, and their companions, according to these their impious works, and also Jediah the prophet, and the rest of the prophets who tried to frighten me because of them. 15. So the wall was finished on the 25th day of the month, Elul, or September, in 52 days. 16. Now when all our enemies heard of it, they were afraid, and all the nations that were round about us trembled exceedingly from our presence, for they perceived that the work was wrought of God. 17. Moreover, in those days the nobles of Judah sent many letters to Tobiah, and the letters of Tobiah came to them. For there were many in Judah who had sworn to him that they would not harm him, because he was the son-in-law of Shechaniah, the son of Ara, the son of Johanan, and his son Johanan had taken the daughter of Meshullam, the son of Berechiah. 19. Also they reported his good words before me, and told him anything I said. And Tobiah sent letters to frighten me.